Welcome to Love for Life, the podcast for modern couples who want to build relationships that last while raising families that thrive.
We're Nichole and Ben Farrow. Nicole's the expert and I am the other half of this partnership, bringing the everyday perspective of a guy doing the work alongside you.
Every week we cut through the BS and give you the real tools for real life, because your relationship isn't just personal, it's the foundation for everything. Let's get into it. We are the Love for Life podcast. The whole point is how you have a love for your life with the person you love, right? Everyone wants to be successful, whatever their definition of success is. And we look at couples that we aspire to be, or maybe that we think are successful. That whole kind of looking outside and going, oh, they look like they've got it together. And you see some who they have the career, they have the relationship, they have the family, they have the money, they have the travel, they have the great body. How do high achieving couples, the definition of a power couple, how do they make it work without burning out or ending the relationship? How do successful power couples do it? Is there such a thing? Because that's what everyone wants, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. I don't know if anyone else would have seen it, but that movie we watched with the kids, The Mitchells versus the Machines.
I wouldn't put them as a power couple.
No, but they wanted more, and the mum was looking at her, like that other woman's Instagram, wasn't she? And she was like, oh my God, they've got it amazing. And why can't we be like that? Their family's got it so together. And they post up lovely pictures, and they're on holiday, and then the world ends. It is an animation, and it is, it sort of talks about social media and
it is basically AI taking over the world.
It is about AI taking over the world and how everyone's stuck in their phones, and it's really good. It's a really funny little animation it's a kids movie at the end of the day. But it's brilliant fun, isn't it? Yeah. So when you were talking about that, I just had Mitchells versus the Machines in my head going. But yeah, I don't think there's anyone that doesn't want to do well and doesn't want to be great and doesn't want to leave a legacy. But yeah, what are you willing to do for that?
Can you do it all though, or is there a sacrifice?
If you're looking at other people's lives and comparing it to yours, you can guarantee one, it ain't a bed of roses, and two, they have had to make a lot of sacrifices to get there. There's no celebrity that hasn't had struggles. There's no entrepreneurs that have made it with their first business and are multi-billionaires. Every single one of them, every single successful person has had loss and had failure. You just have to allow for the fact that you are going to have failure as well. But then you just have to keep going and rebuild, and then you get to your success, if that makes sense. It's learning, isn't it? I do think you can have everything that you want if you put in the work. Nichole doesn't agree.
I think you're right. I think there is work. There was a really great quote I saw the other day that was like, everything's hard work, it's just where you want to put your hard work. Marriage is hard, so is divorce. Which hard do you want? Being an entrepreneur is hard, so is working for someone else 9 to 5. Yeah, it's hard. What kind of hard do you want? Interestingly though, couples who are in business partnerships and romantic partners, how many of those do you think fail?
The business or the relationship?
The relationship. So business partnerships between romantic partners, how many do you think fail?
I don't know, because you only ever hear of the bad ones, like Jeff Bezos. And then you've got Microsoft, Bill Gates.
Yeah.
And then you've got Elon Musk. He's had God knows how many wives.
I would say he's had a partnership that's worked throughout the business. And they didn't build it together, did they?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Jeff Bezos, one failed. Him and his wife made Amazon as a bookshop, didn't they, to begin with? And then I think he had an affair. I guess it's the big ones that are publicised that you see that have failed. But then...
So what percentage?
It's skewed, because all I can think of is like high profile ones. So I'd imagine it's probably high, maybe like 80%.
Wow, you go that high?
Yeah, because when you think about it, I mean, look at celebrities. Every celebrity you look at, they've like potentially started a business. And you look at like Victoria and David Beckham, for instance. She was a singer. They got together. He was a footballer, and they effectively built a brand business. and then he allegedly slept with the nanny. There's all the celebrities, it's all the big names. Yeah, I don't know. I'd say it's probably high.
60%.
60%. Okay, so it is fairly high.
It is, but it's not 80. I'm surprised it said 80. 80 seems very high. So what you're saying is if you become successful, then the man goes and cheats on his wife.
It's not necessarily the man.
All the examples you've given me.
Yeah, because I don't know much about female news. It was a Spice Girl.
Mel B?
Yes, that's the scary one, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, she cheated on her husband. You've got Ariana Grande.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, her. So there are men, there are women.
That's true.
So, yeah, it can be either or.
But if you're thinking about a power couple and you're thinking about like a joint brand where like they've got a business together, your Bill and Melinda Gates or your Jeff Bezos, I don't actually know what his wife's called, the Beckhams, etc., where they have like a brand, something they've built together, they're a power couple. So we're saying when they've built something together, it's 60% fail. But interestingly, of the 40% that don't fail, they are 6 times wealthier, healthier, live longer.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
And that's based on 80 plus years of research and tracking lives from Harvard study of adult development. So,
so basically, don't get rich and do well because you've got a 60% chance of losing your relationship. We're not really selling this empire thing, are we?
But if you do make it, then you're going to be healthier, wealthier, happier.
Yeah.
Stronger partnerships in business and in relationships have better stress management, better decision making, longer lifespan. They make better choices in terms of their wealth. They make better choices in terms of their health. They're building it together so they're more profitable. Interestingly, married men earn up to 40% more than single men.
Really?
Yeah.
Mind you, yeah, I suppose, because if you're married and you've got a spouse and potentially children, you want to do more, do better. So yeah, okay.
Couples who collaborate professionally have a 9 times higher success rate than a solo entrepreneur.
I'm just thinking, like, when you say couples that collaborate, all I can think of now is the generation that we're in. A couple collaborating in our day and age is talking like OnlyFans or stuff like that.
We don't do OnlyFans.
I know we don't. I know, and exactly, we're bucking the trend.
I don't think it's just doing OnlyFans.
No, I know it's not. It's just where my mind went because what is it? You hear about online the whole content creators and that's the thing as well. It's you've got 2 different types of content creators: people that are like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, like making like news or funnies or like various bits like that, or you have the other side of people that are the porn industry now are calling themselves content creators because they're creating content. So that's
suppose, yeah.
So when you said, and their whole thing is they collaborate with other creators, if that makes sense.
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, that's just where my mind went.
Okay. But that's the point, isn't it? There are more opportunities now to partner up and to create content together, or to do something online, or to build something on the side, even if you're both working or whatever, to actually go into partnership with your partner. And if you do it, then there are some huge benefits and advantages to doing that. It does give you a competitive edge against other solopreneurs in your field. You have psychological safety at home, but at the same time, there's a bigger risk of taking a business on together if you're both kind of earning from the same place. More emotional regulation from your partner means that you can make better decisions under pressure and that you're sharing that load. So that whole kind of breakdown in communication between you've had a rough day at work, they've had a rough day at work, but you're in your own kind of world, or maybe one's had a rough day at home, and you're in your own world, and those worlds can start to split off. When you're in a business together, then your worlds are very much merged. Your stresses are merged, and therefore you can understand what's going on for the other one and work through it together. And also there's a trust in having a business and romantic relationship that goes beyond one sphere or the other, doesn't it? So you have a more of a vulnerability around business spheres that comes into your relationship as well to navigate, but also that vulnerability will also strengthen when you're together. So that's why relationships that work are stronger if you're working together, working on the same thing. Also shared resources. So you've got more capital, more time, more bandwidth because you're sharing resources as opposed to competing needs and responsibilities.
Yeah.
And you would also have complementary skills. You'd look for what your strengths are and play to each other's strengths.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Like you look at, us for instance, your skill set is more academic and doing like research and stuff on that side of things. That's much more your skill set. Whereas for me, it's probably more the tech side of things. So like doing the editing of the podcast and setting everything up, and yeah. So I suppose in that instance, that completely rings true.
But I don't think you necessarily discover that when you don't work together. And also, I think you can be different. It can bring out a different side of you, can't it, in a working environment where actually you're really organised at work but disorganised at home or whatever. But maybe you see that side of your partner that you wouldn't see otherwise if you didn't work together. And obviously it means that you would also be on the same page in terms of what you're building and building together. So that whole kind of being a team and having each other's backs and working to a shared goal and a shared vision, and you would have to be on top of the communication and planning and actions. It actually means a lot more alignment. And if you've noticed, the examples that you gave have all been kind of when they've got to a certain stage where perhaps they're not at the coal face anymore and there is more money and more opportunity and potentially more temptations, more freedom to be away from one another. I mean, you've given obviously the examples of where it hasn't worked, but there are some, really great examples where it has. Like,
Got one.
Go on.
Pierce Brosnan and his wife. I think I spoke about him before.
Yeah, are they a power couple though?
I'd say so. Like he's been like a Hollywood movie star. He's been in a lot of different movies and stuff. I think he's doing a bit more now. But I deem them as a power couple. I deem them as a couple that are 100% worthy of recognition, because the press and the tabloids have slated her and said he could do better, and he's stuck by his wife. He loves her to the end of the earth.
I'm not disputing they're a fantastic couple. My reason I question whether they're the power couple is because my definition of power couple is building a business together. I'm not sure that they've done that. He's an actor and she does something else.
Okay.
My example was Michelle and Barack Obama.
100% power couple.
Yeah.
Legendary.
Yeah. I mean, they've built...
They're gold tier. Michelle Obama, and both amazing people. And yes, definitely a power couple. 100% would agree with that.
Yeah. We mentioned them earlier, the Beckhams. I think you'd have to say that they are a power couple.
Yeah, I'd
say
say...
They have a strong brand.
They do have a strong brand. I don't know. I mean, obviously they're still together, but they've had their trials, and I suppose that makes them a power couple because they've had those trials and they've got through them. So, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'd say they're a power couple. And he's getting better with his acting, bless him.
Is he still acting? I thought he only just did cameos in
Guy Ritchie films.
I do love the fact that he tried to make him as ugly as possible, though.
Yeah. That's like Channing Tatum, isn't it, when he was in that World's End movie, or End of the World, or whatever it was. And he didn't want to be the pretty boy anymore, did he? And so I think he chose to be the gimp.
Okay.
So, anyway, typecast. Yeah, get rid of that.
That sounds like a very Channing Tatum thing to do, actually.
Yeah.
They're ones that have made it, that have been successful and have continued to be successful. So there are examples, they're part of the 40%. It's the same with any type of relationship. The issues that would come around not making it would be around blurred boundaries. When work stress bleeds into the relationship, you can have blurred boundaries where every conversation's about the business, that you lose sense of the romantic relationship because the business takes priority over everything, and every conversation ends up being about that, and the stress just mounts and you forget to be lovers and you just become business partners.
Yeah. I mean, we've had times where we've just been focused on work. Obviously, I've got a business, you've got a business, we have the podcast and various other bits as well. So there has been times where everything at home has just literally gone round work, but it's important to make sure that you notice it and acknowledge it and do something about it.
Also, unequal contributions, because it's the same as any couple. One person feels like they're doing more of the homemaking or unpaid labour. It's the same if it was in the business as well. It would be the same issue. So you can either see it as a fantastic opportunity to pool your resources and to share the business responsibility, the home responsibility, everything, and find a way of equally sharing that, or sharing in a way that feels fair and plays to your strengths. Or it can end up being that there's just more pressure on one than the other, and then again that would be the same issues but with a higher risk and more cost because it affects the business as well.
Both your relationship and your business. Yeah.
And then the other thing is competitiveness disguised as collaboration. So if you end up actually competing with one another, and you can find this in couples who have got different careers. That's something that I think dual income couples find tricky to manage sometimes anyway, because someone's career has to take a backseat for the kids or whatever, and who's going to pick them up when they're ill or whatever, who needs to allow that flexibility, or if you're both going for promotion or both have the opportunity to travel, like who takes precedence over the other, and it can feel like a competition. But that then can also occur just as much in a business as well, if you feel that you're actually competing with one another within the business, not actually collaborating. And it's disguised as collaborating, but actually it doesn't end up being that. We've talked about celebrating successes before. Couples who celebrate their wins together report 40% higher satisfaction than those that don't.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, to be fair. Celebrating your wins is spending time together, it's showing that other person you're proud of them, simple stuff like that, 100%.
Yeah. The other one is where ambition becomes almost like an escape, so work becomes an excuse to avoid relationship problems, because rather than deal with the relationship problems, you just talk about work instead. Or push, or you just focus all your energy on pushing the business forward rather than fixing the issues in your relationship. You almost use it as another distraction from actually dealing with the stuff that's happening underneath that could actually springboard your relationship and your business if you got on the same page, but instead you're using it as an opportunity to distract yourself. What percentage of couples who prioritise business over relationships end in divorce?
So what percentage of couples who...
So they prioritise the business over their relationship. How many of those couples end in divorce?
85%.
Oh, you're so close. 90.
I was going to say 90 and then I thought,
90%.
Doesn't surprise me. Because people that are not even self-employed or running a business but working for someone, if they make that their be-all or end-all, then their relationship suffers. So, there's no point in earning all the money if you're going to lose what you're supposed to be coming home to.
No, and that's actually kind of how I ended up getting into relationships in the first place, was working with executives who were amazing at what they did and were doing so great at work, but really suffering in their personal life or getting divorced because they were part of that 90% who had neglected the relationship. In that regard, I know people say money doesn't buy you happiness, and it really doesn't. We're very wealthy executives, entrepreneurs who are very unhappy because they don't have someone to share it with, or because they don't have, that family setup that they contribute as part of the success. And I suppose this is the thing. We look at how do you define success today? And it's so multifaceted. It always has been, but now the expectations even higher. If you want to feel comfortable in your own skin, you want to feel confident, that's a level of success. You want to be loved and in a loving relationship that keeps the fire burning within both of you, that's exciting and loving and warm and secure and respectful, and a friendship and lovers and someone you can grow old with.
And dead.
you want all of it. You want the desire and the security. Yeah. You want the friendship and the lover. You want the co-parent, and you want someone who can boss it in the business sense and the bedroom. You want it all. And then you want healthy, happy, resilient children, and to have a level of life style that's comfortable and that means you're enjoying life, not just working endlessly and you can't enjoy your life. You want to have good health. Like, it's so multifaceted in terms of what we define as success now.
Yeah.
And it is everything. It's money, it's career, it's relationships, it's children, for those who want them. It's a nice home, it's nice holidays, it's you know, it's all of those things.
But then it's, if you're doing that to your spouse, you're making them be everything, which is what we've spoken about before, is you shouldn't make one person your everything. And if you do that, you're putting a lot of pressure on them as well. It's all well and good and all great and gravy doing, like, wanting to have the empire and that, but then you're not allowing that break, you're not allowing that decompression, you're not allowing that person to be anything other than everything for you. And that can burn you out so much faster than what your relationship would be normally.
Yeah. The point I'm making is you want all of that, but then you have to be really disciplined on your boundaries. You have to be really disciplined on where you're going to put your energy. As you just said, you have to be really disciplined on having more of a support structure than just you and your partner, because otherwise you are putting too much strain on your relationship. You don't get to have all of that without the support of a village and whatever that village is. It doesn't necessarily always have to be family, because I know for a lot of people nowadays it isn't. Maybe it is a team, or it is friends, or maybe it is family, but you need more than just the two of you. Otherwise that is a huge strain, and you need to be really mindful about, as I said, the sort of almost systems that you put in place to keep you guys on track and to look after your time and your energy and make sure that you're prioritising what you need to prioritise, because otherwise the thing that I see slip more than anything is the relationship between the two of you. Because it's so easy to let that stuff go, because you think that person loves you and that person will always love you, and you can always come back to it until you've left it so long.
It's not just the they love you and they'll always love you. It's a case of they love me and they'll understand that I'm doing this for us and them. And it's a completely valid train of thought, but in reality that person doesn't want you to be there in 10, 15 years time when you're done with all of that and you've set your family up. They want you there now, because they want to enjoy the good times with you. They want to enjoy, like, your golden years? Or is it golden years when you're retired?
The golden years when you're retired.
Okay, so it's not the golden years. But they want that time with you. They've chosen you for a reason. In the case of they've chosen you to see you walk out the door to work every day and not come back until 10 o'clock at night. So it's such a tough one. It's like a catch-22, isn't it? You want all of this, and you want to have the lovely house, the expensive cars, the nice holidays, and the 2.4 or whatever is family, and you want to have a life that you've made an impact and you left a legacy. But at what cost? I think this is the cynic in me. Ambition is good. Ambition is what ultimately keeps our country running, because there are a lot of people with zero ambition that just suck off of the country. It's a bad way of putting it.
Yeah,
but
it's not your best analogy.
No. But yeah, so there's a lot of people that draw off the country, and people that obviously have ambition and have drive and that want to do well and earn money and pay in, ultimately. And we need people like that. We do. But there's not a limit, but certainly like an area where you think, right, don't go into like no man's land, because you could end up the only soldier stood standing. You don't want to do that. You even need to think of a really smart strategy to go round, under or over.
I do think couples coming together to build something together, I think, can be really, really powerful.
It can
team.
be.
I think it can, and those who do it and do it well, it's the same as everything. Whether you're working together, whether you are both in your own careers, whether one of you's taken a step back in careers, relationships aren't easy and they change over time. And it's the effort that you put in to keep it going on the daily, and it's where you put the priority and how you show up, even in small moments, that's what's going to ultimately keep it going. There's huge potential for couples to build something together, and there's proof that it works. It's not a straight road. Nothing ever is. I think regardless of whether you're building an empire together, whether you're working into separate careers, or whether one of you is working and the other one's taking a step back, being on the same page, having the same goals, celebrating the wins, having very clear boundaries around your time as a couple and your time for work, and making sure that you are connected and talking to one another, and that you put as much emphasis on your relationship as you do your work, and treat that as just as important, if not more important, then you're good, and you'll always be good. And actually you can build something really amazing together, because you will have complementary skills, because you can bring out the best in one another, because you can divide and conquer and be a team. And then you can get the rest of the support in place to help you guys where you don't have those skill sets, whatever. That is so powerful. There's more opportunity today to build together, to do something even on the side. You know, you look at content creation that we talked about earlier, or online courses. It doesn't have to be that kind of content creation, Ben.
Cool.
Could be TikTok shop, could be social media, could be YouTube, whatever it is. There are so many opportunities now for couples to work together, to get off the treadmill of life, of just working and earning, and, you know, actually building something that they are really proud of, and actually leaving a legacy, or creating a lifestyle for their children or themselves that they really want, or travelling more, or spending more time together. Like, there's more opportunity than ever.
Yeah, I'd say with the birth of the internet, being able to be connected to people on the other side of the world, it has opened up a hell of a large market, really, isn't it, for all sorts of things. And also, a lot of the things you can do now, building your empire, can be simple things. Like I've said to you before, with the whole content creation thing, you can whack a camera phone on the front of a lawnmower and make money now with people watching you cut your grass. Whereas that would never be something before. But now people want that escapism. We've gone from having the Instagram lives of look how great my holiday is, look how great my family is, the Mitchells versus the Machines, to now it's a case of they don't necessarily want to see that. They want authenticity and escapism. And that's where people are more now. You can do normal things and turn it into a business. People sell feet pics, literally. So there is so much opportunity. It depends on what you and your partner want to do, but just make sure you don't lose your relationship in the process. Make sure that you do check in. Make sure that you do both want to do it. Make sure that you do have a shared vision, because if one of you is being dragged along, you'll resent the other person.
Or the person who's doing the dragging will definitely resent the one they're carrying.
Yeah, that's the other perspective. That's the one. Yeah, if you are the person doing the dragging, you can resent them. Ultimately, it's prioritising what you want. Do you want a really strong relationship? Do you want to put pressures on that? Are you happy with what you have? Are you just going to constantly strive for more? What do you want? And once you've got that, then at least you know where you are.
Yeah, there's pitfalls along whichever path. My main takeaway from today is the fact that your relationship will always take work, but it's the thing that if you invest in can open doors in terms of everything else, in terms of improving your health, in terms of building wealth together, in terms of creating a life that you want to live together. It's the thing that we should be investing in, and what so many of us don't. It's the thing that gets the sloppy seconds at the end of the day, whatever's left. And actually, we all need to take stock and realise that we get out what we put in, and a relationship will pay you tenfold if you keep up with the investment.
We hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and we will see you all again next week.